The case of the missing inheritance. This is the story of a family torn apart by money, trust, and betrayal. A case that landed in Judge Judy's courtroom and left everyone talking. Maria Lopez was a hard-working young woman, a nurse's assistant, who lived modestly and dreamed of one day buying her first home. When her grandmother passed away, Maria was devastated. But through the grief, she received a final gift, an inheritance check for $50,000. It was meant to give her security, a fresh start, and the stability her grandmother always wanted for her. But in the shadows of that gift, betrayal was waiting. Her cousin, Eric Lopez, had always been charming, smooth, and persuasive. He told Maria that she should deposit the money into his account temporarily. His bank, he said, offered higher interest rates and better returns. Maria, still grieving and wanting to trust family, agreed. She handed over her entire inheritance, all $50,000, to Eric. At first, she believed she had done the right thing. But weeks later, when she asked for her money back, Eric only returned half. $25,000 came back to her account, but the other half vanished. When Maria demanded answers, Eric gave her a shocking claim. He said she owed him that money. He said he had lent her $25,000 years ago for her schooling. This was simply repayment. Maria was stunned. She had never borrowed money from him. She knew this was a lie. And so desperate to reclaim what was hers, she turned to the only courtroom where truth cuts sharper than any excuse, Judge Judy's. When the case began, Maria spoke first. Her voice trembled as she explained how she trusted her cousin, how she believed his promise about better banking, and how he betrayed her by keeping half of her inheritance. She told Judge Judy, "I never borrowed a dime from him. He's making it up. He tricked me." Judge Judy listened carefully. Then she turned her sharp gaze toward Eric. His confidence filled the room as he gave his version of the story. He smirked and told the court, "Your Honor, years ago Maria came to me for help. She was struggling with tuition, and I gave her $25,000 in cash. She promised me she'd pay it back when she could. When she got this inheritance, she knew she owed me, and she gave me the check willingly." But Judge Judy wasn't buying it so easily. She pressed him with the questions she's famous for. "What year was this loan made? Do you have any proof? A bank withdrawal? A statement? Even a text message?" Eric shifted nervously. "No, Your Honor," he said. "It was cash. Family trust, she promised me." Judy's eyes narrowed. Her voice cut through the room. "You don't remember the year you allegedly gave someone $25,000? And you have no proof? No records? Nothing? That's not a loan, sir. That's a story, and not a very good one." The audience gasped, and Maria shook her head, holding back tears. She told Judge Judy again, "I worked 2 jobs through school. I struggled, yes, but I never asked him for a penny. He's lying to cover what he stole." Maria then handed over her evidence, the bank documents. They showed the inheritance. Check endorsed to Eric deposited straight into his account. And 2 weeks later, a wire transfer from him to Maria, $25,000, half the inheritance returned, half withheld. Judge Judy flipped through the papers quickly, then looked up at Eric. Her voice carried the weight of finality. "Mr. Lopez, this check proves she trusted you with her inheritance. The records show you returned only half. The other half is missing. And your excuse of an old loan has no evidence to back it up. None, which means it doesn't exist." Eric tried one last time to defend himself, his tone growing desperate. "She promised me. It was understood between us." But Judy wasn't swayed. Her voice grew stern, each word sharp as steel. "No, sir. What happened here is simple. You manipulated your grieving cousin. You took her money. You tried to disguise theft as repayment. And you thought you could stand here and bluff your way through. But not in my courtroom. Not today." The audience erupted in applause as Judy delivered her verdict.
"Ow!"
She turned to Maria, her tone softening slightly. "Maria, I'm ordering your cousin to repay you the $25,000 he stole. But let this be a lesson. Never hand over that kind of money to anyone without protection, without paperwork, without proof. Trust is not a plan. Trust is earned, and he proved today he didn't deserve it. Maria's tears finally gave way to a small smile. "Thank you, Your Honor," she whispered. Judge Judy raised her gavel. With one final strike, justice was delivered. Judgment for the plaintiff. That's all. Outside the courtroom, Maria spoke to the cameras. Her voice carried both relief and sadness. "I just wanted what was mine. It hurts that family can betray you, but I'm glad the truth came out." Judge Judy saw right through him. Justice was served. Eric, red-faced and angry, muttered in frustration, "She twisted everything. I was only taking what I was owed. This isn't over." But for Judge Judy, it was over. The gavel had fallen. And the truth was clear. In her courtroom, excuses don't stand. Lies don't last. And justice always has the final word.